Hey there, I'm Dr. Lizette, and I help super successful women figure out what's next and make it happen, like yesterday. Today, I want to talk to you about the number one reason why you're still stuck in a rut and what you can do about it. I'm sharing with you my really effective psychology strategies that work wonders to help you go from where you are to where you want to be. Okay, the first thing that I want to share with you is that I need you to think about what is going on for you. Where are you now and where do you want to be? Okay, I want you to take a really good look inside of you and have an open conversation with yourself, basically. Open and honest, all right? And the thing is, I know that this can be hard sometimes. I understand that completely because sometimes to get from where we are to where we want to be, it takes a lot of work, inner work, for you to be able to shine in your work. Does that make sense? And so I'm going to share with you a series of questions that I have my clients go through when they're like, why am I still stuck? Why am I holding myself back? I know I want this so bad and I'm willing to do whatever it takes, but for whatever reason, I'm still holding myself. And this is what I'm going to share with you. So let's get started. Okay. Number one, I want you to think back as to when was the last time that this holdup happened to you. Think back on a time when you were like, I really want to do this. I know what I have to do. And for some reason, it didn't happen. I want you to know what happened. I want you to also try to pay attention to patterns that have emerged whenever this has happened. Because when you're able to understand what is triggering the reaction, which is holding you back from moving forward, then you're going to be able to do something about it. Because next time it shows up, you're going to be like, you better go somewhere. I'm not going to have any of that. I've got my goals to achieve. I'm not going to let you come in here and mess with me. Not this time. Okay? So that's what I want you to do. Feeling stuck and not understanding why, think back to a similar time when you went through something similar to what you're going through, where you started to feel whatever feelings you're feeling. Okay? Let's use an example. Let's say you are looking to make an ask. It's a big ask, kind of nervous. You know, maybe your heart's beating really fast. Think back to a time where you felt that way and you had those same feelings, okay? Think back to that. What ended up happening? Why did you feel that way? What is triggering inside of you? Is it because you're afraid of being perceived as overly ambitious? Is it because you're afraid of them saying no? Which, quite honestly, you're still end up in the same place, right? So might as well ask what you want. Okay? I want you to ask yourself that. When has this happened before? The next thing I want you to ask yourself is, why did this happen? All right? We're clear as to when that's happened before. But I want you to understand, why did it happen? And maybe you have a history of when you were younger. Yeah, let's go with childhood issues here. That you made a few requests and maybe you were reprimanded for it. And maybe you were told that you were being inconsiderate and selfish and blah, 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 blah. All right. There's a reason why you're holding yourself back. It's not because you're lazy, not ambitious, not determined, not goal oriented. No, you're all that in a bag of organic chips. But sometimes we have things inside of us that are trying to protect us, but in actuality, it's just hindering us. So I want to help you clear that out, okay? So try to think, and it requires a lot of introspection, a lot of deep work inside of you to try to piece this stuff apart and get rid of it, okay? So think about, why did that happen? Was it because it was somebody who reminded you of someone who's told you no before and it didn't turn out very well? All right, if we're continuing with that example. So try to think about that. And the thing is that a lot of times people just go through things, but they don't learn through things. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the difference between having things happen to you and having things happen for you. What can you learn from that experience so that you don't repeat the same cycle the next time? All right. So always ask yourself, Not like, why did this happen to me? Poor me, boo-hoo, victim mentality stuff. No, we're not victims here. We're successful women. But the why is more to try to understand and identify patterns so that you try to avoid it as much as possible moving forward. You get me? Okay, so why did it happen? Got that. What must change? What must change for you to go from where you are to where you want to be? Maybe you need to create a worst case scenario plan. All right. If you go and make the ask, whether it be asking for a sale, asking for a promotion, whatever it is, ask yourself, all right, this is kind of scary, but really, what's the worst that can happen? All right. They say no, right? That's the worst that can happen. So what must change? Your thought process must change. The way that you perceive a rejection must change. And once you change the way you think about something, then your behaviors will respond accordingly. And that feeling of anxiety and your heart beating and all that stuff, it'll start to dissolve itself. You get me? Okay, so what must change? Who do you have to become? What do you have to do in order to step up? All right? And then the last question I want you to ask yourself is, how can I make it happen? What's helpful with this question is thinking back again to an instance where you went through this similar process of feeling stagnant, of feeling stuck, despite you wanting to go and give it your all. Figuring out, when has this happened before? Why did it happen? What was going on? Was I really, really stressed out and just everything was piling up? Maybe you're in a similar situation right now. So what can you do about it? What can you eliminate? What kind of stress can you just do away with and delegate, delete, or delay? All right? What must change? What do you have to do differently to go from where you are to where you want to be? I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but when you figure out what that is, then you can figure out what's holding you back, and then you can start to move forward. You get what I'm saying here? And then asking yourself, how can I make it happen? It's a really important question. But you have to have all these pieces in place, all right? And the thing is, the most common mistake that I see people making, really brilliant women who are holding themselves back, I don't want this to happen to you. What they're doing is they're dwelling on the why. Why is this happening? Why can't I move forward? And they start to beat themselves up. I don't want you to beat yourself up. I just want you to go through this process that I just walked you through. All right? And I'm offering you an opportunity to have me help you with it. All right? I have a few spots opening up, and I invite you to apply for a complimentary 15-minute strategy session with me where we're going to talk about just what I talked about. And I will walk you personally through this process so that we can get you from where you are to where you want to be and figure out what's been holding you back, because I know that you've got more that you have to be doing out there. There's more challenge, more ambition, more goals that you want to fulfill, right? Am I right? If you're interested in this, come and talk to me. Just send me a message and I will get back with you and tell you more about what you can do to talk to me and figure this out once and for all. Okay. Love you guys. Till next time.